Okay, guys, I just want to say thanks for coming and joining this new episode, and I'm excited about these particular ones because it's our first time that we've done a podcast where we've got opponents that get to be in the same room with each other and talk a little bit about the fight and the training. And you guys have a fight coming up May 17th, and we want to hear about it, how it's been going. So I've got Ammon and Rulin. Why am I messing that up? So Ammon and Rulin coming in today into the studio to talk about the fight. And I want to hear how it's been going compared to how you had in your mind it was going to be. Like, I think that people see it on TV, they watch it, they attend events, and now you're actually doing the event. Ammon, how has that been?
Oh, it's been a lot harder than I expected as far as just the output and the time. Like when I first started sparring just a couple weeks ago, it's hard to relax and getting punched, and so I really struggled to breathe. So it was an eye opener, but I've also loved that aspect of it, doing something I've never done before. So it's been hard, but it's a good hard. Like I'm enjoying the challenge.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it does create perspective that I think until you do it, you really can't know, right? Yeah. Like I think even as athletes and people that have played sports or conditioned or even done other combat sports, I see that a lot too. And then they get in and they start training in boxing and go, oh, okay, these are different muscles. I'm sore in areas I didn't know that I had, and it's eye opening. How about your experience so far? You've done it before, right? So
yeah,
you had some context.
So I kind of took some time off in training, and for me, having something to train for helps me get back into shape.
Yeah.
I'm a runner, natural runner at heart, so I'm actually training for the Salt Lake half marathon as well.
Nice.
At the same time, so I'm pretty tired. I didn't realize how out of shape I was until I got back in the gym and did the workouts, and I'm sore. But I think it's going really well. I'm getting back to it and snapping back to it pretty good. I got some great coaches. They push me. When we do a lap, they're like, "You're doing another lap. You're doing 2 extra laps because you're training for a fight." So it's exhausting, but it's very rewarding, and I feel great, like mentally and physically. Probably the best I've ever felt.
Good. I love hearing that. So what's fun about this fight, and I've been putting on fights for 18 to 20 years. I one of these days I'll do the math and see exactly how many years, but it's been a long time. And I like the executive fight night because it's an interesting theme, right? Because you've got executives, entrepreneurs, influencers, business people that naturally are high achievers, right? Like people excel in their field or whatever they're doing. And then you put them into a combat sport, into a sport that requires extra effort and dialing it in more. So it creates a really unique dynamic. So tell me a little bit about your profession. What do you do? What's your day job?
I'm the lab director at the Utah Fertility Center, so I oversee the in vitro fertilization lab as well as the andrology lab and endocrinology lab. And we have 5 locations from Idaho Falls, Ogden, Midvale, Pleasant Grove, and St. George. So I oversee those labs, but I'm based out of Pleasant Grove. So a lot of my day is administrative stuff lately. Behind a computer a lot and doing statistics and different stuff with that and just troubleshooting issues we may have in the lab.
Imagine that some stress comes along with that.
It can be. It's definitely got some stressful components to it, and some challenging components, dealing with some issues or a bad outcome. Speaking with the patient is something I'm not used to. I did my college in animal science, so I got my degree in animal science, so I was not trained to deal with humans. I planned on going into reproduction in the animal industry, but
interesting.
There wasn't many jobs when I finished my PhD, so I found the human IVF and have absolutely loved it.
Cool.
So it's been good. It's been a good challenge.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I think boxing becomes a nice outlet to get away from the lab and hit bags, and now you get to go hit people. So tell me about your career.
So I'm actually an aspiring actor. I've been doing acting since my early 20s. Didn't have much success in my 20s. As I got older, I seemed to be getting some pretty good roles. I recently shot a AT&T FirstNet commercial.
Nice.
I was recently on the Let's Make a Deal episode, and I
Cool.
won a big showcase of cameras.
Oh, wow.
And I got a lot of projects coming up, and just making my way through that world. I like to be artistic. I'm going to be filming a short film this summer, and just staying busy. And this has helped me keep in shape physically and mentally.
Great. Yeah, I imagine all of that, right? No matter what your background is, type of work environment, family situation, what I like is that entrepreneurs, business owners, people that have high stress positions, they come into a boxing gym and it's an outlet. It's a way to leave all of that behind and just be present in the gym and work on mental health and work on ways of I call it proactive mental health, where you're not necessarily doing it for that intent, but it kind of does it for you regardless. I think you'll find that as you train for this, you're competing, you're in the ring, your level of calm starts to become easier, I think. Like, I've learned that my baseline for stress is just higher naturally because of the positions that I hold and things I have to do, and that I think combat sports has been a big part of that. Competing in boxing has allowed me to handle stress at a different level. I don't let things bother me quite the same. And in another episode, we were talking about just, like not needing to fight because you do it all the time, right? You're twice a week, you're in the gym fighting, sparring, hitting people and getting hit, and you kind of stop having to prove stuff, right? Because you're doing it, right? Like, you start to look at the idiots that fight at bars or whatever, and you're kind of like, like, I don't have anything to prove. I know exactly what to do against better opponents. And you learn that skill, and that becomes part of your arsenal, and it creates a level of calm. Have you guys noticed that at all? Are you seeing those changes?
I for sure am. Like, from when I first started just coming and doing bag work, I felt right away just a stress relief, and just having that outlet to come and just get a lot of energy out in a short amount of time. And it's even amped it up more now that I'm training more and more. So it's been good mentally as well as physically for me.
Good. Happy to hear that. How about for you?
Oh yeah. So my wife's been having some health problems. She actually just got out of the hospital 2 days ago, and she's like, "I'm so glad that you have this." She's like, "I know how stressed it's been. You've been, having to take care of the whole household and do everything." And she's like, "I want you to do this because I can see the stress relief." She's like, "You're calmer. You handle stress so much better, especially life, because life gets really heavy."
Totally.
If I didn't have this, I don't know where I'd be right now, because it's really, really gotten a lot of stress out of me and an outlet.
I'm glad to hear that part. I'm sorry your wife's going through those challenges, but life is hard, right? Like, we deal with shit, and people need outlets. And I'm so passionate about Legends and what we do here. It is truly something I believe in to my core. It's not just a business to me, and I have plenty of businesses and different ways that I generate income, but Legends to me is a culture and a tribe, and all of the words that we use are not buzzwords to me. They actually mean something. And personally, it's done a lot in my life and saved my life, probably, being able to learn boxing and have that skill and that confidence, and again, stress management. I talk about it a lot in these podcasts, is the stress side. I think it's just because it's so relevant, right? With nowadays, there's so much stimulation, so much exterior influence of just things that are going on that cause worry and concern. And if you don't have an outlet, it is going to drive you crazy. And so this does create that for people. Now, you guys get to experience something at another level, right? Like, being able to fight in front of a sold out crowd in a really cool building that I'm pretty stoked about. Like that's another level, right? That's a thing that most people can't really describe until they actually do it. And so I'm looking forward to see the reactions. One of my favorite parts of this is seeing fighters that have put in the time, they put in the effort, they know that 9 weeks of hell that you guys are going through, and then you hear your walkout music for the first time and you're ready. You just know you're ready. Like that feeling of I'm ready won't happen probably until that walkout music starts, and then you just all of a sudden feel this calm, and then you just execute. Like it's a very cool kind of surreal feeling that you go through as a fighter that until you do it, you can't really describe it. You don't have a baseline or understanding of it. So how confident, how are you feeling now, right, in the process of this, either one of you being ready to compete?
Oh, well, I'm definitely not ready right now. We've talked a lot about it in sparring. We've talked about the different people on ladders, and do you want to be at the bottom of the ladder, at the top of the ladder? And I'm definitely just a couple rungs up. I still have a lot of work to do, but still have some time. But it's a learning curve, and it's a lot to take in because it's new to me. So, but it's been good. It's slowly building, but I don't expect it to take overnight. But
Good.
I expect to
That's a
be
good
ready
reality.
by May 16th, hopefully. May 17th.
I feel like my training's been going well. I feel mentally I'm on that right path to get there. Physically, I am on a fast track.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good actually at this juncture. I know I have a ways to go, but I feel strong. I feel healthy, and I feel mentally like psyching myself up for that night.
Good. I think the more that you do this, the more time you put into it, you are going to feel that calm and that confidence. And I've been doing this a long time, and I love training with the executives. And my first day back, I haven't been in the ring in 6 months, 8 months. I haven't even been working out. I've been very lazy, and I got in a week ago or 2 weeks ago and went 45 minutes straight sparring, just one fighter after the next. I think I jumped in with you a little bit, Ammon, and I felt great. I was like, oh man, this I'm excited to be back in and doing this again. I needed that recharge and that reminder of why you do this. Like I was definitely tired, but I wasn't going to let everyone know I'm tired. So I had to keep training, keep working towards it. But it is a good excuse to get in there and measure, see how you guys are doing. And I was very happy with the progress and how the coaches have been doing. So working with your coach and working with your team, it is a big part of this journey. How would you describe that's been going and learning that process with your coach?
Yeah, I feel really lucky to have the coaches that I do here in Lehigh. Briggan's been awesome. Brandon's been awesome. Robbie's been awesome. Colby's been awesome. Like there's just everybody at sparring, even non-coaches have just been very patient with me when I need an extra break or whatever it might be. But they've been instrumental in my progression, and they've been so helpful. So I appreciate them all. Good insight, and it's been a lot of fun.
Good.
I feel like my coaches have been a little extra hard on me. They're like, you got to prepare for a fight. Go do 2 more extra laps. Go hit the bag a couple more times. Do extra sit-ups. So I like that. I feel like they can see what I need. They're working with me on my foot movement, on my punches, and I've got some great coaches, and they like to redline me every time I'm in the gym. So
Good.
I like that.
Yeah, it means they care. Like part of that process of training for a fight is a different level. It's a different accomplishment. It's a different set of training. Like it is cool to be able to relate to the other members in the gym that they're doing the same workout as you. You're just doing it a lot harder and more intense and more intentional, right? So like when you're in class, it's the same as Susie Soccer Mom. She's learning the real boxing technique, but you're learning it and doing it and applying it at a much, much higher level. And because you need it, you want that conditioning. And what's interesting is that both of you are in shape physically right now to go in and do 3 1-minute rounds, 3 1.5-minute rounds, whatever it is. You can do it. What you're learning is the adrenaline control. And that's the part that people aren't necessarily prepared for, is that once you step out and the bell rings and the crowd is there and the noise and this is happening, this is real, that adrenaline spikes and you are just, it's a very strange feeling, but that's what you're preparing for now. It's really conditioning for that. And that's why you see, seasoned fighters and people that have a lot of experience, they can remain calm in those situations because the adrenaline isn't taking over. You're not in the fight or flight mode. And so you're learning right now, and the reason the coaches are pushing you at that level is you're learning how to act in fight or flight and how to make sure your muscle memory and you have enough weapons in your arsenal that you can pull from those when reactions and your body's reacting to that situation. So I think you're feeling that, right? I think it's kind of a cool thing to be able to pull those weapons out when needed without even thinking about it. You're conditioning for that, not necessarily for being in shape or not. So it is a different set of tools. So signing up for this, when people are looking at it, they've seen the events, been to the events. What made you want to do this in the first place?
I've been to a couple events, and in just the atmosphere, just the energy, the experience is something that I thought would be a challenge and something that I would love to do. I love legends and everything, the core and the core values and everything about it. So I see that displayed in the EFN events and the fight con. So I just thought it'd be cool to be part of it, and so I applied.
Good.
Liked the challenge. Yeah, wanted a good challenge this year.
Good.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I had an uncle. He was my favorite uncle, and he passed away, and I was devastated. I was a teenager, and we'd go over to his house and watch the fights, watch Mike Tyson fight, and he's like, Mike Tyson's fighting, and we'd be like, heck yeah, we're gonna come over. And I was a kid, and so I'd go over there and we'd watch it, and it was so exciting and so thrilling to see, them go out to the ring and fight. And it's always been my dream to step into the ring and do that. And I used to train at different, I lived in California for a while, and I trained at some MMA gyms. I'd watch UFC, I'd watch boxing, and it's always been my dream to do that, and I never thought I could. And here I am, fast forward 20 years later, I'm in my 40s, I have the opportunity that not a lot of people have, to step into a ring with a roaring crowd. I mean, that is something that not a lot of people get an opportunity to have. And so for me, it's not just about the fame and the glamour and that. It's like my bucket list to always get into a ring. And now I'm older, and I have the confidence and the opportunity that I never had before my whole life. And it's something that I'll be able to tell my grandkids about.
Totally.
So,
yeah, it's a challenge, and that's this whole executive fight night thing. It's crazy when I look back to think of what it's turned into. Like, it was never supposed to be this. Like, it was as a promoter and putting on boxing matches, and I used to do MMA shows, and I enjoyed doing them. They were never big money makers. It was unless you're at the top, the UFC's big boxing promotions, like, they make all the money. The small shows typically don't make very much money. They do it so that there's a stage to show off talent, and their promoters, so I was doing it out of passion. But I did notice that if I was putting on a fight and we had a first-time fighter that also owned a business or was a person of influence, our ticket sales were dramatically better. So the light went off in my head, and I go, I wonder if I put on a show where it's like all business owners, all executive entrepreneur, that kind of thing, and see how it goes. I wasn't sure if I could get enough people. Like, it was all just a big hope off of an idea. So Executive Fight Night was born 9 years ago off of that idea. And not only did we, I pretty sure we set a record for like amateur boxing shows. It took an hour to get into the venue because we weren't set up to take tickets, and we had to poor two ladies like trying to sell tickets at the door, and 1,000 people showed up to this show, and we were like, holy crap, like okay, we're on to something special. And back then, it was my brother and I, Andrew, that where we each trained the red and the blue team. So I coached all the red team. Andrew coached all the blue team. So we didn't have as many locations as we do now, and so it was much harder to get everybody trained. But we would have like red team would show up on Tuesdays and Thursdays, blue team would show up on like Wednesdays and Saturdays, and that's how we divided up the teams. And then we thought it'd be this great idea that Andrew and I fight at the end. So not only are we training everybody, we're getting them all ready, wrapping hands, cornering everybody, running from one bout to the next bout, and then exhausted from putting on a show. And then we have to fight each other at the end. It was quite funny. So we definitely aren't doing that anymore. We've gotten to the point where we have enough gyms that train fighters and coach it and put it together teams, and you get much better training, and the experience is still a lot of fun, but it is interesting to see the evolution of this idea and that experience. And when Andrew and I fought each other, it was in the back room. We both just looked at each other, just exhausted, and I'm like, Andrew, I'll pull my punches if you pull your punches. He's like, deal. So we're like chugging energy drinks and had a high five. And I remember in the second round, I accidentally like threw an overhand right and it landed pretty flush. And Andrew's way better than I am. Like, I'll admit it publicly. So he's a better boxer and always has been. And I'm like, oh crap. So I was in for it. Luckily, he didn't feel like it was that hard. So he took it easy on me, and it was a fun night all the way around. But I'll never forget that look of just, why did we do this? Like, so to see it come from that to what it is now, to where we're at sold out shows in arenas, and I think one of our coolest bucket lists was having Evander Holyfield show up a couple years ago, and that was a cool experience. It had kind of come full circle. We had when we first started Legends and started scaling and expanding nationwide. Evander Holyfield was the guy that we reached out to because we wanted to get a celebrity endorsement, and so we were working with their team, but they were awesome. We just couldn't afford him. Like, we just didn't have enough money to have him come and do an endorsement. He loved what we were doing, but he has a brand and deserves to be paid for it. So now, to fast forward this many years, he came to our show and it cost us nothing. He was there to kind of support Operation Underground Railroad and liked what we were doing, and those things combined brought him there. So it was kind of full circle to see where Legends had started and where it has become now. And so you guys are part of that heritage, and that's something that will go down in history. I think that we've turned this show into where the state of Utah has really gotten behind it, and they look forward to it. And now FightCon was born out of this, and so it is fun to see that you guys are part of that legacy and this heritage of it keep growing, and you get to be on that roster of this show that will probably continue on for hopefully 100 years, who knows. But we keep new ideas, and they keep working, so as long as that keeps happening, we'll keep doing it. So this is the first time we've done the podcast where you get to sit next to your opponent and kind of size each other up a little bit. So that being said, putting the game plan together, execution, you guys both feel ready, feel confident. This is going to happen regardless, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to train hard for this. After seeing my opponent, I'm going to train harder and give it a my all on that night. So we'll give a good show, I think. Yeah.
Good. Well, any last words you want your audience and fans to know before you step out on the stage?
Yeah, just get loud. Get there and get loud. Let's bring the energy up. It's gonna be a fun night. There's a lot of good cards, a lot of good bouts on the card, so it'll be fun. I just expecting a lot of energy and a lot of fun.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that I would love to have everybody plus come out and cheer me on and see me all the training put into one great night of fights and boxing. And the Masonic Temple's an awesome location, and everybody I've told, they're like, oh, that's a great venue. So want everybody to come out and see what all the hard work I've put in. Good. Well, you guys are both gentlemen, and definitely excited about this
this bout. It's going to be a good one. So buy your tickets. We'll have this published here soon. Might be sold out by the time you see that, but we'll have a pay-per-view link also. So this year we're doubling down on pay-per-view because we normally have 2,000 to 3,000 seats. This venue only has 965 seats exactly. So this will sell out. So we decided to go with a smaller venue, sell it out, but then have a really awesome pay-per-view option too. So all those links will be in this description for this podcast on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you like this episode, make sure you click the like button, subscribe. We're going to keep putting these out as long as people keep asking for them. So thanks for showing up, guys, and we'll leave it at that.
Thank you.